Good morning. Good morning, all of you. I gave you some task yesterday, but I, I received it only from few people. I hope around 22 people have submitted. What about the remaining? Am I audible? Then why don't you respond? All those who didn't complete the task. I have the list of numbers who have submitted. Who is this DM3004? DM3004 2000. Who is this? Five ninety three 17 series, 593, 5C1, 5C2, 5C4, C6, D0, D9, E1, E4, E6, E7, E8, F2, F3, F7, G0, G5, G6, H2, H9, J0, and lateral entry 514. Only these 22 students have submitted the assignment till now. See, I'll show this reflection in your evaluation, internal evaluation. Keep this in mind. So is my screen visible to all of you? Is the screen visible to all of you? ఎవరు ఇది డిఎం చాట్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టారు DM3004 who is that? Who texted in the chat? Yes, sir. I instructed you clearly to use your roll number. Not even your name is used there. Okay, mute your audio. So today we'll discuss two more tags. What are those two more tags means? Uh, Image tag and frames. So frames is a bit lengthy topic. If it is not completed today, we may extend it to next class tomorrow. But first, I'll begin with image tag. Or else you want me to start with frame tag and complete it today, and tomorrow have image tag. Then I'll go ahead with that. So, what is your opinion? Image tag is used to display images. Frame tag is used to divide the page into partitions or display multiple pages in a single browser window. So this is the purpose of both these tags. So the tag names are the first tag, that is img. You will have an opening, and you'll just have an opening tag for this one. You don't require a closing tag. So these kind of tags are called as empty tags. Okay, and the second one is we have, why you are taking this much time to join the class? It is disturbing me. I told you earlier also. Still the same is being repeated. Tomorrow I'm not going to admit. Then the frame set tag. So this frame set tag will have an opening and closing tag. Along with frame set, we need to use frame tag. So these are the tags we are going to see in today's session. So now let me put this in comments. And one more thing I want to say. Currently, the version HTML will have a version. So the HTML version that is running currently in the market is HTML version 5. So this is called as simply HTML5. Okay, simply we call it as HTML5. And there is a tag called doc type. So this tag is useful to mention the type of document that you are using, and this should appear only once at the beginning of your HTML document, even before you start the HTML tag. So what is the purpose of this is you have to mention what type of markup language you are using, the document that you are using, whether it is a HTML document or an XML document. There are many other markup languages. HTML is not the only markup language. So there is another markup language called XML, which you are going to learn it in second unit, I think. So there you're going to see what is XML. But as of now, let us discuss about this HTML only. So this is not mandatory, but in real-time application, when you are using, it is better to use this doc type tag. This will give information to the browser. So the browser is the one which is executing your HTML code, right? So it has to interpret the content that you have written in this file, either in the form of a HTML or an XML document, whatever thing it has to interpret it in that format, it has to interpret. So that is the purpose why we specify this HTML or XML, whatever type of document you're creating, that you need to specify. So this doc type will have an angular bracket open, an exclamatory mark followed by doc type, and then give a space, and then because you're going to use HTML, so we are going to give HTML here, right? So even if you don't give this one also, your program will work without any problem, right? But I need to tell you that there is something called doc type, right? So that's why I'm telling you about this one. Now let us wind up this one and move into the actual concept, images. So first let me create the template. I'll use a H1 heading. So I'll give a displaying images and HTML document. Then after that, I'll display this image here. So this image tag, it doesn't have a closing tag. So because it doesn't have a closing tag, after the name of the tag, you have to give a forward slash here. Even if you don't give also nothing like that. So which indicates that this is a empty tag. It doesn't have a closing tag. Any tag which does not have a both a opening and closing tag, that is called as a empty tag. EMPTY, empty. Okay. So this has an attribute called SRC. So the value of this SRC is nothing but the URL identifying the image that you want to display on the screen. So let me open some images. Some URL on my system will show this. So these are some of the images I stored on my system. So let me use these images. I'll copy paste these images. that we are using this one. Yes, images.html, where I'm going to store from desktop JD. This is where I've stored earlier files. So I'm showing also here now. I'll open this one. So you can see the title images and a heading H1 size displaying images in HTML document. So now let us use that image. So what is the image name there? I've created a file called images. The type of the file is JPG file. So its extension is images.jpg. So you can mention the images.jpg here to display this image. We can also mention using some other attribute called width, the width with which you want to display either in terms of percentage or in terms of pixels, screen pixels. So there is another attribute called height, using which you can specify the size of the height of the image with which you want to display. Now you are able to see the image has been displayed with 200 pixels of height and 100 pixels of width. If you want the width to be more, so then you can use 300 here, so that now this is how it is displayed. Right? So if you display one more image now, change that image. What is the file name? Images call.jpg. So now both the images are displayed one after the other in a horizontal row fashion. If the space is not sufficient for the second image in this row, then this image may occupy the next row. Now let me put another image here. I'll copy paste it one more time. This time take say images 13. So in this way they will be displayed one beside the other starting from the first image. Now I'll increment the width of this first image to 500. So now you can see the width increased. I'll increase the width of the second image also. Now when I increase the width of the second image, you're able to see the third image being displayed in the next row, the next line. This happens because the width of the screen will be limited. Generally, if the resolution is set to say 1024 by 768 pixels, is a ideal this is an ideal resolution. So you can set your resolution on your computer by clicking right clicking on the properties on the desktop and uh, use the resolution. You can go for resolution or you can go for controls panel and set the resolution also there also. By default, in most of the systems, the resolution will be 1024 by 768. So 1024 by 768 means what? 1024 by 768 means your screen will have horizontally 1024 pixel units. Horizontally, it will have 1024 pixel units and vertically 768 pixels. So just like matrix elements are there, and you mentioned the dimensions of a matrix as a 3 by 3, 4 by 3. Even your screen also, your display screen also will be in the form of a matrix of cells, each containing some rows and columns. So the number of cells that you have horizontally is 1024 and vertically is 760. So if that is the case, if I specify width as 500 pixel for first image and 500 pixel for second image, so that these total will include how much? 1024, sorry, 1000 pixels, right? So how much will be remaining? Only 24 pixels of space will be remaining. So in that case, what will happen? To display the third image, which has a width of 300 pixel, so the 24 pixels will not be sufficient. So that's why what will happen is the browser will display the next image in the second line, in the next line, right? So depending on the pixel or the resolution of your system, these images will be displayed. If you don't know the exact resolution of your computer, then you can mention this in terms of, instead of pixels, you can mention it in terms of say percentage. Okay. So if I use this percentage 40 like this, then this will occupy exactly 40%, 40%. Okay. So let me remove this 1024 by 760. So you can mention 40% as a width. Then the image will occupy exactly 40% of the screen horizontally. So this is occupying 40% and this is occupying 40%. Then the remaining will be 20%. So the 20% will be left over on the right side. So this is how you can display images. Displaying images is a bit a complex thing because the layout, how these images are laid on the screen portion, it will be looking awkward. But after completing this HTML concepts, we are going to learn another concept called cascading style sheets very soon in the next class or even after that class. I may after two classes say we are going to start CSS. Okay, so there you are going to see how to lay these images in a very attractive manner. Even the HTML tags that we use so far will also become attractive. The entire page will become attractive by using these cascading style sheets. So we're going to learn it after two or three classes. But as of now, the images, let us display them normally. So when we discuss cascading style sheets, there we can make them look attractive and display them however we want, in whichever part we want. Okay. So let us close with this images, displaying images with a certain width and height. Now let us go into the frames concept because we need more time on frames. It is a lengthy topic, so it will take some time, some more time to discuss. So let me uh, wind up this concept of images and go to frames. So let me create a new file. I'll create this file as frames.html. So what is the purpose of these frames? Frame will allow you to divide the entire HTML document or your web page into multiple parts, and in each of the part you can display different web pages. So far what we were doing is we were displaying only one page in a single browser window or a tab, right? But if you want to display more than one HTML page or web page in a single browser window tab, then you can go for this by using the concept called frames in HTML. So the frame tag, to create this thing, we need two tags. The first one is frame set tag. This will have an opening and closing tag. Then the second one is frame tag. Okay. So now let us see how to use these frames. Let me put this in comment first. Copy paste that one and remove this. And display the title as using frames in HTML. Okay. So now if you want to use this frame set and frame tag, you need not define the body tag, because using these frames we can display multiple web pages in a single browser window. So if that is the case, we should not have a body tag. In place of body tag, we have to use the frame set tag. So let me copy paste this frame set tag from here. In place of that body, I'm using frame set tag. Okay. So now you can divide this entire page, the web page that you're creating, either in horizontal direction into multiple partitions, or in vertical direction into multiple partition, or even you can combine both horizontal and vertical divisions and display multiple web pages in a single screen. Say for example, I want my web page to be divided into three partitions. I'll show you, already I have some program. I'll show you only the output. But the program, I'll write it again. Now you look at this output of this program. Your complete browser window is divided into three parts. Horizontal one part is touching from the top left corner below the address bar. From here till here, it is occupying a vertical space, and complete stretch of the horizontal space from the left corner to the right corner. So within this partition, I am displaying a heading called Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology. And then you can see another partition displayed here from here till here vertically. It is divided vertically now. So this is one partition. And frame C, whatever text you are able to see. So this part is another partition. So you can divide this page into multiple partitions like this and display links like this. And whenever you click on this link, uh, some different page will be displayed in this third frame. So this is frame 1, this is frame 2, or this is frame 3. Or you can also give the names as A, B, C. Frame A, frame B, frame C. So in frame A, I'm displaying a heading Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology. And in frame B, I'm displaying a heading called departments, under which I'm creating six different hyperlinks, what each representing a department in our college. So this is CSC, this is EC, mechanical, civil, triple E, and IT. So when you click on CSC, you will get a message here, welcome to the department of CSC. And when you click on ECE, so this will change mechanical, civil, triple E, IT, like this, right? Yeah, so this is how you can use frames for dividing your web page into multiple partitions. So now let us go to our program and see how to create that frame in the same way. So I'm going to display my first. I'm going to divide it into three frames and show you the blank frames. Then we are going to add all these things. Right? Or you can take the task of adding all these things. So to create multiple frames inside this frame set tag, we need to use frame tag. Right? Each frame tag will be representing one of these three frames. So you have total three frames here, right? So three times how to create the frame tag. But before that, let me tell you about the attributes. So you have an attribute called rows is equal to, and in this you need to specify the amount of space each of this particular frame is going to occupy in the entire web page. So if you consider this entire web page as 100%, uh, this is the height of the page from here till the bottom of the screen. This is the width of the screen from the left corner of my screen to the right corner of my screen. So we can imagine this to be 100% height and 100% width. Width in the sense horizontal, height in the sense vertical, right? So you can mention the amount of space your frame has to occupy horizontally and vertically, right? And how many partitions you want to create in that frame. So how to do that? This is by using an attribute called rows. So this rows attribute will allow you to create partitions horizontally. That means in terms of rows, right? So if I specify 20% like this, so 20% will be occupied by the first frame, and then 30%, say by giving a comma, I'll give 30%. Then the second frame will occupy 30%. So out of 100%, 20 and 30 is occupied by the two frames. So what will be the remaining 50%? So if I say like this, now this frame set tag is going to divide your entire web page into three partitions. The first partition will occupy 20%, second partition will occupy 30%, and third partition will occupy 50% of the total available space. But how this space will be occupied, either horizontally or vertically? It occupies vertically, right? So first row will be occupying 20%, then the next row 30%, and then the third row 50%. So this is how this row will be created. So to represent each of these rows, we need to use three frame tags. Open a frame tag, frame tag. Now how the frames are created? First frame occupying 20%, this part. Second frame occupying 30%, and third frame occupying 50%, right? So now you can display three different web pages in these three different frames. Fine. For this frame tag, you'll have something called source is equal to, you have to mention the page that you want to display in that frame one. Say, for example, I'm going to display first Let me open this first page. So this is first. So this is demo. This is links. Other pages, unit 1, those are there. So let me read this program. What is this? Demo.html. So I'm going to display a heading Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology and align this to center. Then body background color, I'll change it to say tomato color. So this demo page will be displayed now by this Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology with background color as tomato. So now I want this page to be displayed in my web page in the first frame. Okay. So how to do that? So let me go to that frames page. So here I'll give demo.html here. So now you observe that web page demo.html is displayed in the first partition or first frame that we created. So you can see Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology. This is the heading that we displayed in the demo.html. So now in the second frame, if we want to display something else, you can display another web page here in second page. Say I'm going to display links. So you can give src is equal to links like this. Links.html. Now this will display the hyperlinks page. So when you scroll it, you can observe the scroll bar appearing on the right side because this is occupying only 30% of the page. So if your page that you're displaying in this frame is large, containing some content which is large in size, then you can scroll it with the scroll bar, right? But in the first frame, we only displayed this title and that doesn't require more space. So that's why you're able to see no scroll bar for this. There is no vertical scroll bar. Now I'll display another frame in third frame, another page in the third frame. src is equal to, say, what is the other page we have? First.html. So I'll use first.html. So now you're able to see three different pages displayed in the same browser window. So three frames are created. How they are created? How they are created means vertically partitions are created. At the top of the window, you have one frame. Below that, another frame, and below the second frame, you have another third frame. Right. So this is how you divide the entire space uh, uh, vertically using which attribute? Rows attribute. Right. So you can increase the size. Say now for this 30, if you want to use, say, instead of 30 you want to use 40. So 20 plus 40 is how much? 60. So how much will be left over for the third frame? So you need to specify the remaining 40%. Now if I refresh this, you're able to see the scroll bar is disappeared for the second frame now, but now it is appearing for the third frame because third frame contains some content which is not sufficient enough to display in the frame. So that's the reason why you got a scroll bar now for the third frame. Let me reduce the height of the first frame to 10% so that we can accommodate that to this third one 50% like this. Now you're able to see Vidyajyothi Institute of Technology with only 10%, the remaining two occupying 40 and 50 respectively. So how to use these percentages means if you want to divide the entire page into uh, multiple partitions and those partitions must be done vertically, then you have to use an attribute called rows attribute, right? Now I'll show you how to divide the same into horizontal partitions. Instead of vertical partitions, I'll show you in horizontal partition also. But before that, so what is this percentage? The amount of space this particular frames will occupy from the top of the web page to the bottom of the page in a vertical direction, right? So this is nothing but this 10% plus 40% and 50% equal to 100% is nothing but the total height of the web page, right? So these three frames are spanning from the top of the web page to the bottom of the web page by occupying different amount of percentages. So you can give a maximum of 100 percentage only. So if you want to create three partitions, then you have to mention the three frames a percentage like this, each separated by a comma, right? And I'll remove this comma, show you. So what is happening? Only one frame is created and that frame is occupying the total 100 percentage. If I place one comma here, so now you see only two frames are created. If I place the comma here also, then all the three frames will be created. Okay, so you have to mention the amount of space that each frame occupies in the same order in which they want to display them. So in that order only you have to mention. For the first frame, if you want 10%, you mention 10%, comma, second frame 40%, comma, third frame 50%. So total must be 100, equal to 100. It should not be greater than 100. If you want to further create one more partition, then you can give partition for this one also. One more partition. If I give 10%, comma, but it is exceeding the total 100%, right? So I have to reduce it here to 40%. So 10 plus 40 plus 40 plus 10 is 100. So now one more partition will be created at the bottom. See, it is displayed with background color white, right? Because we didn't use any page to display there, so it is displaying the background color by default in white color. Fine. So this is how you need to create multiple frames and display multiple web pages in a single browser window. So now if you want them to be displayed in a vertical direction, that means the partitions are made horizontally from extending from the left part of your screen to the right side, right corner of your screen. Then instead of this rows attribute, you have to use cols attribute. COLS, cols. It stands for columns. So now let me change this. Now you are able to see three partitions created in a vertical manner, occupying the complete horizontal space. So now this 10%, 40% and 40% will be 10%, 40% and 50% will be uh, referring to the total width of the screen from the left corner to the right corner. So this is 10%, this is 40 and this is 50, right? So that is how uh, the partitions will be created, and you can look at the horizontal scroll bar now here, the first one. So let me increase this to say 20% and reduce. this to 30%. So now you are able to see first frame occupying horizontally 20%, second frame horizontally occupying 30%, and the third frame occupying 50%. And when you create these frames, you can rearrange these frames width and height like this. Right? Depending on your requirement, you can rearrange these things. And you observe when I click on these links, what is happening? Only within that frame, that link search, the page is changing. Right? So this is how you create partitions horizontally. That means spanning the complete width of your screen. Each partition will occupy complete height of the window from top to the bottom. Earlier, when we created horizontally, what happened? Each partition is occupying the complete width of the screen, right? So this is how you create partitions horizontally in terms of columns. So yeah, what is the attribute you need to use? Calls attribute. Now, if you want to combine both and create multiple partitions in such a way that my first frame will occupy the entire width of the screen from the left corner till the till the right corner, but it will occupy only 10% or 20% of the height, and remaining 80% of the height I want that to be divided into multiple partitions vertically divided. So what I can do here is, in place of first frame, use the concept of rows only here. Still, some people are trying to join the class. Now, this will be changed to the previous output. Now, instead of dividing this entire remaining 80% of the height into two partitions which are stretching from the entire left corner to the right corner, I want them to be divided vertically like this, one to the left and one to the right. Okay, so how to do that? So first frame, I'll display it as it is, but in place of that remaining two frames, the second frames, what I need to do is I have to use one more frame set tag. Okay, and for this I have to use the attribute calls is equal to, and here I want the first frame to occupy 20%, the second frame to occupy the remaining 80%, say, for example. Okay, so now within this frame set, that means what? Instead of the remaining two frames, I'm creating one more frame set within those two frames. So they will be merged together into a single window, and that will be divided now vertically using calls attribute, 20% on the left side and the remaining 80% on the right side. So here again I have to use frame tag. So how many frames I'm placing here? Two frames I'm placing, because calls is equal to 2 percentage values only I will. So now here, what is that page we create? Displayed links, I think, right? Links.html. I'm going to display it here. Then first.html. Yeah, I'm going to display it here. So here I need to change this. Rows must be only 20% and 80%. So now you see how the frames are divided. One frame is occupying the entire width of the screen, but it is occupying only 20% of the height. And the second frame is occupying 80% of the height. Even the third frame is also occupying the 80% of the height. But coming to width, width is being shared by both these two frames, second frame and third frame. Second frame is occupying 20% of the width, and the remaining 80% of the width is occupied by the third frame, right? So now, if I click on these links will the resulting page, the target page, will be opened only in this unit one. If I want this page when I that is being opened when I click on this link to be opened instead of in this frame, I want it to be opened in this right frame, right? So now let us rename these frames as this one as top frame and this has left frame and this is right frame. So if I click on a link on the left frame hyperlink, the corresponding page must be opened in the right frame. So this is how I want the web pages to be displayed when I click on these links. In that case, what we need to do is we need to use some attribute called name attribute for all the tags. Okay, so till now we have been using src attribute for a frame tag. So now we can use an attribute called name attribute. So for this, I'm going to give name as top frame, right? And for this one as this is left frame, so I'm going to give its uh, name attribute value as left, and this one as right frame. So right. So these are the frame names I have given. And when I click on the link in the links.html page, when I click on unit 1, I want that corresponding unit1.html page to be displayed in the right frame. And this hyperlinks must be as they are. They should not change, right? So the links must be appearing in the same way, even though if I click on these links. But the corresponding page must be opened in this right frame. So to do that, let us go to that links.html page. You need to open that links.html page. And for these anchor tags that we created, we need to use an attribute called target attribute. Okay, so this target attribute will be specifying in which frame the corresponding page unit1.html must be opened when you click on this link unit1. When you click on this link unit1, the page that you are accessing by clicking on this link must be opened in a particular frame window. So what is the frame name that we have given for the right window, right frame? So the frame name itself, we have given it as right. So I have to give target is equal to right here. So for all these links, I'll do the same because I want all the links to be displayed in the same way. So now let me refresh this page. And when I click on unit 1, so you're able to see unit 1 is now being displayed in the right frame. Similarly, if I click on unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, and unit 5, so all these pages are being displayed here, right? So this is how you create frames in HTML. So I have shown you how to create partitions or frames both in horizontal direction as well as vertical direction, and also combining both horizontal and vertical, right? So what is the advantage of these frames is you can display multiple web pages in a single browser window. Earlier we were not able to do that because a browser window will open only one web page in its tab window. So that's why we were unable to do that. But using a concept of frame tags and frame set tags, you can accomplish this task of displaying multiple web pages in a single browser tab window. Got it? So you have any doubts, any queries, you can ask. And whatever task you have done for the previous class, you can modify the task in such a way that frames are used, frames are created, and output will become like this. right? So now, the home page, when you open this frame first, instead of displaying web technologies syllabus like this here, you display welcome to Department of CSC, uh, display some content with a paragraph. This web page is related to web technologies in third year first semester, and write some few lines of text in your own words. uh, that will be like a welcome message. And when you want to know the syllabus of unit 1, when you click on unit 1, syllabus of unit 1 must be displayed in a single page like this here. If you want unit 2, unit 2 must be displayed, right? So in that way you modify the previous task that you have done in such a way that it will be generating output like I have shown you now. Okay, so if you complete this task by tomorrow, it's a small thing. If you can sit for half an hour, then you will get it. Any queries, any doubts, you can question me now itself, because I may not be available after that. So if you have any doubts, you can text me on WhatsApp, but I may not respond immediately. At some point of time I'll respond, but immediately I may not be responding because I have some other works. So say it now on. Even if the class extends for 5 more minutes, nothing will happen. I'll clear your doubt. And is that okay? Any doubts? No doubts, please at least text me in the chat. Okay, only Venkatesh, Nishit, and Sai Krishna, Sainath, Soumya, Rohit, Tarun. Yes, okay, fine. So if you have understood, go ahead with this and complete the task also. And tomorrow I'm going to teach you one more important topic called forms, creating forms, right? So it will be a little bit more interesting from tomorrow onwards. And one more important thing I want to communicate with you is the syllabus in first unit is very large. HTML is very simple thing, right? You can learn it from now onwards. If any remaining content is there, you can learn it on your own. So you can make a trial and error method and uh, learn the remaining topics. So you only have basic tags in the syllabus. So almost I covered 60% of the basic tags till now. 60 to 70, the remaining 30 to 40 I'm going to cover it by tomorrow or in the next class. So tomorrow you're going to see forms. So with that we'll wind up HTML. There are many other HTML tags available. If we uh, if we uh, if we spend more time on that, I have to spend it for days. So I'll not be able to complete the syllabus. So I'm giving it as a task for you to learn the remaining tracks. You can also place video clippings in your web page. You can also display audio clippings in your web page. So I'll show it now here. Demo.html, or some page we are displaying first.html, right? We open this first.html. If you want to display a video clipping, then you can use a tag called video tag. Open and close. So this will have a width and height attributes. You can mention the width and height of this. Width is equal to say some 50% I'm giving. Say height is equal to also say 40%. I'll give width 60%. and at the end you can give controls like this. This will display a video clipping. I'll open that page separately. Table is occupying more space. I didn't mention the source attribute. If I mention the source of a video clipping, the file name here, I don't have any videos here. I have only movie videos, so I don't want to display it here. If you want to use it here, like this one, if I specify this source attribute value, then that video will be displayed with that particular height and width. And when you use these controls here at the end, so what is this going to display is the controls. You know, the controls for controlling the volume of the uh, uh, audio in your video content, as well as the you want to forward it or rewind it. All those controls will be there, right? So those controls will be also displayed with that video, along with that video. If you use this controls, if you don't use this one, then the controls will not be displayed, and the video will be displayed with the 60% width and 40% height. And what video you want to display in that particular page, that video's URL you need to mention here, just like we use it for image, right? So you take any video from your computer and copy that URL of that video and paste it here. Or else you can copy that video and put it in the same folder in which this first.html file is located, and then mention that video name along with its extension, whether it is an MP4 video, WMV format, or any other format, whatever it is. And for this, we'll also have a type attribute. So type is equal to, you need to mention video slash and its format. What formats you want to support to be displayed, only that format you can specify here. Then that will be supported. If you don't specify, then any format will be supported. Depending on the browser settings, it is going to display that video. Okay. So uh, I hope you are going to. I think the live streaming didn't happen because of some issues, technical issues. But anyhow, the video is recorded. So I'll upload this video into that YouTube channel and I'll share you the link for reference. So it will take at least half an hour to do that. So within a half an hour, I'm going to share you the YouTube link so that you can go through this channel. Okay. So now all of you please text your roll numbers in the chat and you can leave. Remember, text your roll number in the chat and then only leave.